Hello, welcome to Lore Master's Lab. I'm your Lore Master here today for another video on a nation of Tianjing. We are getting closer to the end, only a single coast and all of the underground left to go. So let us continue our travels with the nation of Tianjing. Long ago, the region was home to a great war between Celestials and Cliptoth, ending with the fiends driven back, but with great loss for the celestial hosts and the world. So the Celestials stayed to mend the land and tend to their wounds, as well as make sure that the Cliptoths never returned. Then, as the centuries passed, they gave the duty to their descendants, who continued their watch to this day. Or they would, but years of special treatment from the surrounding nations have made Tianjing complacent, and time has robbed many of the reasons why they follow the rituals disguised as traditions, leaving much of the barrier to keep those creatures contained diminished. Potential for a new attack is high. The question just is when. The people of the nation continue to live with the duty of keeping the cliff-top invasion from repeating. However, as time has gone on, the purpose of the old ways has been forgotten, and to some of the newer generations it is just an outdated traditions which they see no reason to do with diligence. There are even given rise of a profession for people being paid to worship in place of another, because people are too busy worrying about things like economy to keep up the god. A new collapse is inevitable. In terms of the people who live here, Asimov are of course a high percentage, or whatever it was that the new name is. Though I believe humans are still higher. There's also no noble population of Samsarans, and Tengu are also from the neighboring countries. Of course, there are still some Cliptop influence hidden away, so their children still come into play in the shadows. Been a while since I've looked at whatever new tiefling your name is, so I'm not even going to try to remember it. And the nation is one of goodly people, so they worship goodly deities. Desna, Shaolin, Sugio, Qizong, Kafusachi, and Jingli are also popular choices. The Nianrang Conclave is the ruling party of the nation. They are the most learned of the people, whose duty is to use their wisdom to steer the path of the nation. Of course, the trade-off is that they also likely are also the eldest, and therefore lack the ability to travel far beyond the capital. And therefore, the secretary of the conclave, the one who writes the proclamations of the council to be spread, has actually a massive amount of power. The landscape is blessed by celestial protections that they live under, and so every hilly field and forestway seems to sparkle. That said, still the Cliptoth push against their prison, and rifts deep in the Kaimuko woods have opened, pushing corruption. But putting that aside, just like the native people, the capital of the nation is the Tang, a city wrapped in golden ribbons and with a shrine in every square. There is also of note Kungsho Island, island part of the nation, which is considered part of the nation, but is outside of the country's sanctification, allowing massive hauntings like the graveyard of Kipaku to build up, waiting. Which brings us to the end of today's video. Another cataclysm just waiting to be unleashed, although I believe it is Huangat which is slated for the next adventure path. But either way, next week we look at a deity neither from Tian nor from the Inner Sea region. See you then.